Alright, welcome back, hot dogs. Y'all already know what time it is. It's another Super Saturday. Because y'all already know we wake up early to talk shit about Dragon Ball. So if you ain't having a super day, you better find you a super way, right? So we got the normal highlights on this channel as usual. It ain't the 1 minute shorts this week, so we'll have highlights to keep those popping. You know how we do. Let's see, flip this camera. See what the computer look like. It's a full screen of this deal. Here we go. Yeah, I'm gonna go check out the Rumble videos. You see that studio quality. See, that's the difference. YouTube is a vertical, yeah, which is just a computer screen. But then on Rumble, you actually see it from the computer screen's perspective, with me in the background. Shots out to the live camera over there. Sometimes it be low quality, so it is what it is. Struggle streaming, and until we get it right, we gonna keep practicing. But anyways, let's see. Y'all ready to see some super content, and then I'll just talk about that. Shout out to the big homie.
Gigi, why you tripping? Goku, I'm sick of having us rely on my dad, Hercule, and Bulma for money. Those tournaments don't come enough, and farming ain't it. But Gigi, don't come back home until you get that munyon, bumcoo. Sound like you need a job. Yes, Devontae, I do. Alright, grab your stuff and let's go to your world. I know a guy. Can you put some more data on this interdimensional phone? Yeah, sure thing, bum cool. What the? Devontae, I thought you knew a guy. That's Corin's tower. The Corin you know no longer exists. He's changed. Changed? Yeah. Keep your chest out, nuts low, head high, and don't say nothing stupid. Man, he couldn't have changed that much.
I got way too many cars in my driveway. I got boats, I got planes, nigga, I'll pay. I got way too many cars in my driveway. I got boats, I got planes, nigga, I'll pay. I got way too many cars in my driveway. I got boats, I got planes.
Hell, y'all two want. Can't y'all see I got way too many cars in my driveway? Corin, we need a favor. A favor? You must need that rash cream again. No. Another favor. Oh, y'all must need that sugar, huh? Big Daddy K got everything you need. I got that Chop Sucky Chook, I got that Mark Phillips, and that Namekian Kush. Ready for you right now, nephew. Corin, we ain't trying to pop them. We trying to slang them. Slang them? Well, look at that. Divine timing. I just skinned my last 2 employees alive, tied their balls to an anchor, and watched them drown to the bottom of the sea because they ran off on the plug. AKA me. It ain't a good idea to bite the hand that feeds you. Am I right, guys? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, don't worry. We not gonna do that. It's a lucrative but nasty game, my boys. You sure you want this smoke? Can't be worse than fighting multiversal level threats on a daily and not having the government pay you for literally saving the planet they walk on. And I know damn well Goku don't want to work at Wendy's. Damn right I don't. I'd rather tie my nuts to the side of the Polar Express than work there. And besides, Gigi said get money. She didn't say how. Alright, bring your ass. So like I said before, we've been low on front runners because they always like to run off on the plug. And Big Corin don't play about his product, nor do I play about my zenny. And that's what they forgot. Sheesh, were they YNs or something? Crash outs to the max. But don't let age be the catalyst to mental maturity, dignity, and honor. Because remember, there are old fools that'll do the same thing. So boom, here's the rundown. Whoa, monkeys! Put down the 9. Don't talk to Devontae like that. Goku, I hope you choke on a nail clipper. Relax. He's just here to cop some of that cooler. Damn, a senzu bean named after your dead non-canon brother? Couldn't be me. Oh, just like the one right next to it named after your dead canon father. I'm about to swing, Devontae! I got the gloves in my inventory. Like, y'all can duke it out, no divis. Hey, ain't nobody fighting in this place of business. You better take that beef to the hyperbolic time chamber, you damn hoodlums. Good, now that you're all civilized again, Devontae, Goku, welcome to the stash room. Whoa. We got all kinds of senzu, grown straight from Planet Vampa, imported to this tower. Planet Vampa? The planet Broly was on? I thought you grew them here. I used to, until I found out there were different strands you could grow if you put them in different environments. Wait, if there's different strands, then that means they each have different effects, right? Correct, Goku. That's why these non-regular ones are illegal. It's basically like giving somebody a quirk. You know how fast somebody could overthrow the world government elites with this type of thing, if not properly regulated? The world elite powers should know by now. You know how popular this stuff is? How are you able to move this stuff undetected? Undetected? They're working with us. They know I have superpower beings at my disposal like you and Goku, Devontae. And how do you make a puppy sit down? Power. And I'm the only one with the knowledge of how to cook different ones up when you put them in those specific environments. That's why they struck a deal with me to not grow certain ones. I cook up a certain one and the wrong person gets it, they ass is grass. Just like Uncle Ben said, with great power comes great responsibility. The responsibility of not selling my secrets to these wicked people so that they could use it for their own selfish gain.
Hey, Corin is straight up plug though. I mean, shit, he putting this little new squad right in the mix. Like, yeah, nah, nigga, we got these actual Senzu packs. Yeah, I done learned some more about Senzu. Yeah, we got instant upgrades. Pick you a new pack, right? That's why Frieza was there. Like, shit, nigga, I got that Planet Vegeta pack. That's my specialty. Hell, he had to travel back in time to bring back the Dragon Balls just so Frieza could get the original pack that he already done packed up. Hell.
You not worried about them catching you off guard and coming to kidnap you and tie your nipples to a swing set? Devontae, I got eyes and firepower everywhere. Trust me. But what makes us so trustable? Devontae, trust me. Anywho, we got that Mookie gives you an infinite stomach for endless eating for 30 minutes. That Franklin Saint, it'll make you a greedy, super intelligent crash out for 7 days. And we got that Yamcha. You don't want that one. You might die. Anywho, I got everything you need to make that munyon. Can we try one? Y'all trying to slang them on them streets, so you gotta go by the code. Never get high on your own supply. Prices start at 10 a G. Welcome to the team, Devontae and Goku. Now take a bag and get the hell out. I got fine shit sliding through at 7. We playing chess. You got the strap? What about the gloves, the shovel, and the cleaning solution? Alright, let's bounce. Trunks, we need your mama. For what? We need suits. Oh, brother. Ma, these doofuses need outfits. Heard y'all got that Zucka Sugar. You heard right, homie. Grown straight from Planet Vampa, imported to Corin's Tower, then me and Devontae slang it on them streets. We got all strands of senzu beans, homie. What you need? We got that donkey neck, that bubby bowl, that chopsucky chook, and we got that Yamcha. That's the most popular one. It'll have you out like a light for days. You might die. 100 a G. 100 a G? On Kami graveyard taxing. I'ma need that discount. Discount these nuts. 100 a G. Take it or leave. Humans. You really pulled a gun on us, stupid ass boy. What they gonna do to us?
Good content though. Y'all know to go check out his channel. I say links are in the description, but y'all don't even check the description, so you know how they go.
It's all on me, I'm the only one left. I gotta focus on catching my breath. I won't let these demons bring me to death. So I'll wear this dress gracefully on my neck. All my memories been clouded.
Clip from the World Tournament. After that, we were introduced to some Fist of the North Star bandits that got lost and found their way to Dragon Ball. Now, this one introduces something interesting. If you know anything about Sun Wukong, the character Goku is based on, you know he has 3 iconic tools. Goku has 2 of the 3 tools, but Toriyama never introduced the 3rd, that tool being the sealing gourd. Here, it has the power to seal someone if they don't answer when their name is called. After being sealed, they're turned into a liquid that if someone drinks, they can steal the sealed person's power. Kinda OP, huh? Luckily, Goku is able to avoid being converted with the power pole, and turns the gourd on its owners. Goku lets the villagers keep the gourd. Shame he couldn't keep it, as this is filler. But it's not really his style to use something like that anyway. The bandits are no match for Goku, but assuming they've been using the gourd for a while, they're probably pretty strong. So, let's give them 67 and 73. Now...
Shouts out to our meat and potatoes.
Christ, really?
Alcad is in here, so I ain't gonna say nothing. Y'all already know.
Patreon for exclusive manga content and early access. Isn't that right, Sid?
I already joined this Patreon today. Tons of great stuff on there, actually. But did you really have to blow up the city?
Yes.
Blew up the dominoes. You blew up the dominoes, and you're laughing. Do you realize the f***ing crisis here?
And you will be next. Unless you subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications right now.
Or else what? You'll aggressively scream another man's name for several hours?
Kakarot! Kakarot!
Now, although I wasn't expecting for such an outcome to occur, especially now that Raijin appears to have exactly what he was originally after, if we don't hurry and find a way to stop him now, then do I only fear that the absolute worst is bound to now happen.
As our story now continues, following the initial events of Kibi being shown having to traverse throughout the canyons within the demon realm in hopes of having to go and find a safe enough sanctuary to go and hide the final configuration cube, to which despite with Kibi's efforts now being shown having to come up short and trying to navigate his way through, is when Kibi then went on to quickly respond, "Oh darn it, another sealed off entry point where it leads to nothing more than just a dead end. Oh darn it, but I can't just go and quit now because I have to go and keep trying," Kibi says, especially while I'm still able to go and mask my energy along with the cube's radiance, so that way I'm not spotted while I'm down here searching. And so, just where exactly am I supposed to go now if almost every single entry point and every cave system had already been sealed off by the higher ranking demons and preventing them from being used? I've got to go and keep trying here because the fate of the entire multiverse is now resting on my shoulders here. And so now instead of having to go left again and having me circle back around while now knowing that there isn't going to be any access points that I can reach, Kibi says, there must be something that I can go and find here on the right side, which I'll need to go and hurry and make this fast before. But then, it was only just within these very moments now from out of nowhere as the elite demon Zoro went on to appear by grabbing Kibi by the throat, when Zoro went on to then further address Kibi by responding, "Oh no you don't, and just where exactly do you think you're going while appearing to be in such a hurry like this, demon? Masking your energy, huh? Now I wonder as to why that is, because would you go and take a look at that? For it would only now appear as though we found what Lord Raijin had been looking for this entire time, and what do you know? Of all the places within the multiverse that this final configuration cube could have been within, it only just so happens to now end up here with you. And why is that, Kibi? For how could you, of all creatures, possibly go and manage to get your hands on one of these relics that our ruling leader had been after and searching for this entire time? Well, I'll tell you why, because the answer should be more than obvious by now, and that is simply due to the undeniable fact, after having to now catch you within the act itself, Zaru continues, that you are a traitor, Kibi, a traitor that will not go unpunished until the time is right, Zaru says. And since your luck had just ran out while standing before me and having me go and witness these acts with my very own eyes now, not only are you a traitor among your very own kind here, Kibi, but you are also attempting to try and ruin Lord Raijin's vision of absolute domination across every plane of existence, which I will now personally go and make sure that you are to go and suffer greatly for, demon. And so now give me the cube, with Kibi responding, Wizard Zaru, wait, for you don't know as to what it is that you are doing here, for we mustn't go and allow for Raijin to seize this final configuration cube, because there's no telling on what he plans on going and using them for once he has all three within his possession. And because I was able to go and see that with my very own eyes as to what his intentions are truly all about, he isn't who he claims for himself to be here, Zaru. As you've got to try to understand that, because once Raijin goes and is able to get his hands on this final configuration cube, then there is no telling on what is going to happen with the rest of us while we're down here. And so you've got to just try to listen to me, Kibi, please, for we mustn't go and allow for Raijin to go and lay claim over that final cube. And that is simply because if he does, and if Raijin is able to go and access a level of ascension that goes far beyond his current status, then, well, there is no telling on what is going to happen to the rest of us if he chooses to sideline our services, Kibi continues, which is exactly why we can't let him go and lay claim over this cube, because if he does, then he will more than likely destroy us all, Zaru. And so now understand.
So for those who've been paying attention to, this little side fan animation from the beginning, he's getting ready to do a project about the multiverse. So a demon getting, well, the omniverse, I should say. So a demon getting 3 configuration cubes, which can put you into the realm of the omniverse. That's kind of, build up. You see what I'm saying? He know what he's doing in the future for his next project. So he's already throwing in the seasoning for that. You dig? Shout out to the salt and pepper.
That you are nothing more than just a pawn to him, for he doesn't care about anything other than realizing his own selfish vision and wanting to rule over and annihilate everything within the process, including his very own. And so you must listen to me here before it's too late, Zaru responding, you traitorous little rodent, how dare you go and speak of Lord Raijin in such disrespectful ways, demon? For I knew that I couldn't trust you as far as I could stand to go and look at you, and what do you know? For you have also happened to be carrying the final configuration cube that Lord Raijin had been looking for as well. And for what purpose was that for, demon? Why, so that you can go and try to hide it from Lord Raijin? Was that it? Well, your lies, along with whatever fantasy you had in claiming this relic for yourself, ends here by my hand, Zaru continues, as you will be judged and ultimately destroyed the very moment Lord Raijin goes and finds out about what you have done to go and try to keep this from him, you little worm. And so just you wait. But then, it was only just then within these very moments now elsewhere within the demon realm, as Raijin was then shown having to choke Whis and sensing something, was when Raijin then went on to quickly say to himself, wait a minute now, for could that energy signature be on what I think that it is? Because if it is, and if what I am able to now sense that is coming from deep within the canyons of the demon realm are to be true, then that must ultimately mean that this angel here was never truly in possession of that final configuration cube of mine, because if it was, then why am I able to now go and sense its presence within the confines of the demon realm that stretches far into the outskirts of the rocky lands beyond the canyons? If this angel here was the last known being to go and carry its scent with him before our battle had even started here. Oh, but of course, now I see Raijin proceeds to throw Whis off into the distance. For this must have been your doing, angel, but no matter, as I will go and deal with you later on, once I am able to go and lay claim over the final missing piece to my ultimate and grand puzzle. And so now don't go and get too comfortable here, Whis, as I will be back in just a moment. And so don't you dare even think about going anywhere here in the meantime. To which it was only during this time when then having to go back to Zaru and Kibi as Kibi was trying to plead with Zaru was when Kibi went on to then quickly utter, Zaru, you have to just please listen to what it is that I'm trying to silence. Zaru then quickly went on to then shout, for I have heard all that I could stand in possibly having to go and hear from you, you lying, backstabbing little peon. And so now because of this, prepare to go and face your doom. Now allow me to go and intervene here for just a moment by taking this time to go and get this off of your hands here. Raijin then suddenly appears before Zaru and Kibi by then quickly responding, since none of you are worthy or even deserving enough to be anywhere near such a relic, but at long last, Raijin continues, for I have waited eons for this very day, but now I can't help but wonder on why this configuration cube was within your possession to begin with, demons. And so I'm starting to now wonder on how this little cube here went from being within the angel's possession to now being within yours. But no matter, Raijin continues upon now being shown throwing both Kibi and Zaru against the wall, because one way or another it is thanks to you that I now have all three of the ancient configuration cubes within my possession, and now that I finally do, it's time that I go and take the...
Now that he officially does, he's an Avengers level threat. Because, see, that's what happens when the bad guys actually get what they want. You end up having to call in the Avengers because they're going to have to fit some shit. But we'll see what happens. You know, Whis just got, like, knocked the fuck out and then thrown halfway across the demon world. So, you know, he'll be back because that's how he does it. We'll just be like, all right, man, I'm going to have to master my new technique to beat this guy because, you know, he did some training since Murno. And, you know, Whis ain't no punk. Hell, he training Saiyans. So, hell, you think he going to be outshining they show? Hell, nah, them my students. Negro, you think I'm going to let them outshine me and come just beat you the fuck up? Hell, we might even see Gogeta. We'll see how this story ends, though. Hell, he done got the box. Shouts out to getting the box. That's always the goal, right?
Moment to personally assemble them so that I may finally go and get the answers to the questions that I've been longing for. But worry not, Raijin adds, for your efforts in bringing this final piece of the puzzle to me will not go unnoticed, fellow demons. For you had went and had served me well, Zaru. But while I no longer favor to go and stick around here after now having to finally acquire what it was that I had been searching for, you can now rest assured that I will no longer seek in having to use you after this. But since we are already here, then we might as well go and get as much out of this that we possibly can hope to get our hands on here. Isn't that right, Zaru? And now that you have given me exactly what I have been searching for and finally having me lay claim over all three of the ancient configuration cubes, Raijin continues, at long last has the final hour in my relentless efforts to reach and obtain these cubes and finally being able to go and see what lies beyond on the other side of our known reality has come. And to ensure that nothing goes wrong this time, Raijin continues, I will leave you to your business in finishing this demon off here once and for all, Zaru. To which it was only just upon with Raijin being shown having to now take his leave and returning onto his God King mountain was when Kibi went on to then address Zaru by quickly responding, there, do you see? As I tried warning you that Raijin wasn't who he wanted for all of us to believe that he was, and yet you still chose to not believe me. But even despite with all of that, are you going to go and believe me now? As he never truly meant to help us here, Zaru, for his promises of great power and glory was only ever meant to be for him, and from there only allowing for his lies to be what lured everyone into absolute submission, which was exactly what he ended up getting by the end of it all. And so was I lying now, Zaru? And as I tried telling you that he wasn't one of us, but none of that matters right now because his theft of the final configuration cube only proves that he never truly intended to shape anything with us in the first place, but to only rather go and exploit and discard of us once we have went and served our purpose here in doing what he wanted for us to go and do for him, Zaru. And so we'll need to go and hurry and try to stop him immediately, because if we don't, Kibi continues, then chances are that Raijin is going to destroy everything. Don't you get it, Zaru? Our home, our people, even our future, Zaru. And so please now just understand and having to go and help rally the others before Raijin seals our doom here. And as we don't have a whole lot of time on our hands here, and so we'll need to have to go and hurry. Oh, enough already, for how could you be utterly certain that Lord Raijin was our enemy from the very beginning here, Kibi Zaru questions? For how could I know that perhaps your mind hasn't already been twisted by what that Saiyan named Goku had already told you by now? Because I know that it was you who had went and covered up for him when I exposed you to Lord Raijin the first time around. And so how could I go and trust what you are saying to be fully true here, D-Man? For he was eagerly hunting and going after those cubes for a very long time now, and so perhaps he had grown impatient of its delivery and simply wanted to go and speed up the process upon having to go and sense it down here. Which I say that to simply say this because I refuse to go and believe that Lord Raijin had been against us since the very beginning here, Kibi. And don't forget that if it wasn't for Lord Raijin, then you would be nothing, and you know it, D-Man. And so don't go and lose sight of where you come from or who you belong to, because the answer should be more than obvious, Kibi.
Belong to. Damn, those were strong words, sir. I mean, yes, Kiwi belongs to his God. Okay, his God has showed up, claimed his property, let everybody know what to start working on towards getting our goals accomplished. And that's the bad part about that, because when you worship a God, that ain't you. Hell, that means something else besides you is telling you what to do. We believe in self-control around here, and being in control of myself. So therefore, that's how we measure people. Therefore, if you're not in control of yourself, hell no, we don't do that.
Hey, Zaru, wake up and understand that what just took place here wasn't out of sheer coincidence here, and deep down, you know what I'm telling you is the truth here, Zaru. And whether you want to go and believe it or not is entirely going to be up to you, but I'm not just going to stand around here and watch as that monster goes and grinds us into the dirt in the name of having to go and build and die for his empire, Zaru. For I wouldn't go and be telling you all of this if I didn't already know that it was true, Kibi continues. And while you may find it hard to believe, you've got to try to understand that we mean nothing to him, Zaru. He never truly cared about any of us here, Zaru, because all Raijin ever wanted was to ensure that only he could remain in power this entire time and nothing more, so that only he could go and maintain control over everything and everyone. And while you may not believe it within this very moment, Zaru, Kibi says, then I want for you to go and think about all of those who we have lost along the way in waging this senseless war on his behalf. And while you are right about what it was that you had mentioned when bringing up that Saiyan mortal Goku, it still stands to reason that he wasn't wrong with what it was that he was trying to go and tell me, because even you had seen it just now for yourself, Zaru. And as Raijin only wants what is beneficial to him while ensuring that it happens at the cost of his own people, the cost of our lives here, Zaru, with Zaru responding, oh, so you did in fact come in direct contact by having to involve yourself with that mortal Goku after all, Zaru says. As I just knew that it was you, and so why exactly should I go and trust a traitorous little rodent like you after everything it was that you had just said to me, Kibi? With Kibi responding, well, if it makes you feel any better, then allow for me to also go and tell you that I was the one who had helped set that mortal free before Master Dubo had went and taken the fall for me when you had brought me here before Lord Raijin to be executed for what I did. And do you want to know what else, Demon? He was right, Kibi continues. For the Saiyan was right about everything it was that he had mentioned to me, and since I was able to go go and see it for myself, I'd rather go and perish on my feet than ever go and continue to serve as being just another one of Lord Raijin's pawns here, Saru. And since we don't have a whole lot of time on our hands here, if you truly wish to go and make a difference out here, Kibi continues, then you will go and warn off the remainder of our army and go and call our warriors off while they're still out there. And that is simply because why should we go and continue to serve as pawns here when everything that we have forged here was done by our hands and not by the hands of Raijin, Saru. And so if you truly plan on joining me, or if you truly wish to go and try to stop me, Kibi continues, the choice is ultimately going to be yours to make, but I'm not just going to stand around here and let that monster step all over us like we're nothing more than just bugs beneath his feet, when in fact we were the ones who had helped elevate Raijin into being where he currently is, Kibi shouts. And so if you are truly going to plan on making any kind of a move here, then you better hurry and make it fast.
Keep over here talking that shit, talk about we the ones out here putting in most of the work. I mean, he is who he is, but we helped him get to where he currently is. All facts right there. That's why they said, hell, who the fuck is the government? Hell, it's supposed to be the people, so if the government ain't doing shit for the people, hell, you know how that be.
Because now that Raijin has all three of those
Goku done Naruto talk no jutsu his ass.
act upon our instincts now before it's too late. And so please just try to come to your senses in order for you to see that what I'm telling you is the truth here, Kibi adds. Because if we don't try to go and do something to stop him from using those configuration cubes, then not only will he go as far as to destroy all of them, but he will also wind up in having to destroy all of us along the way as well, which is exactly what he wanted, and so he needs to go and hurry. But then, it was only just within these very moments now, elsewhere within the Demon Realm, as Toro was shown in fact having to still be alive and surviving Goku and Vegeta's attack, was when Toro then went on to quickly respond. So the two of you thought that you would go and be the only ones around here with the ability to use foreign energy as a means of having it serve as a barrier of protection now, did you? Well, two can go and play that game, you worthless little insects. And if you truly think that I'm going to be just as easy to destroy as the others were, then you are in for a very rude awakening, with Vegeta then having to be shown chiming back in. Well, that's just great, for it hardly went and had any effect on him at all, which only now goes and tells me that he must have done what I was shown.
Oh, for those who don't know why I titled this a Black Air Force application, it's because Demon God Raijin, as you see, he already came in filling out the application. He stole. He didn't steal it. He just, since the damn thing went, got it himself. That's Black Air Force energy. Because he said, I got shit to do, and I'm going to get it done. Oh, that feels like that thing's down there. Let me just hop over there. He just chucked Whis like he wasn't shit and went on over there himself, like, sense it, I'm going. Then when he shows up, he's like, oh, it's two demons fighting. Excuse me. Let me just snatch this because, you know, that's what I'm here for. You dig? Y'all finished what y'all doing. Left. Burnt out. You see what I'm saying? And now we get back to what's going on with Toro and all Goku and Vegeta. So that's the current catch up on the story for those that ain't paying attention.
Having to do an eye protected us from his attack by using the Demon Realm's essence and dark energy as a shield against his blasts. But now what do we do with Goku responding? Well, it looks like we're all out of options here, since he appears to still be able to do the same thing that you were shown in having to just do, Vegeta. And so because of this, we'll need to go and continue to hit him again and again until something winds up in having to work within our favor out here against him. But then, it was only just upon with Toro now being shown having to send something that caught his attention that was seemingly emanating from Raijin's God King Mountain, was when Toro then went on to quickly respond. Wait a minute, for could it be? Yes, but of course. As not only can I go and sense Lord Raijin's presence as clear as ever while up there, but, well, if my assumptions are to go and be proven true with what I'm able to sense that is also there with him, then surely that must mean, right then, for I now know what needs to be done, Toro says. Yes, but of course, for this couldn't have come at a far greater time than having it happen right now, and so I'll need to hurry, Toro takes off by responding. Oh, Vegeta, hurry! We can't go and let let someone like him get away with everything that he's done, Goku shouts, and so we'll need to go and hurry and follow him up there before it's too late. And so now let's go and try to finish him off while he's weakened before he goes and does something to completely change that. But then, it was just within this very moment now, just seconds before Toro was shown having to finally reach Raijin, as both Beerus and Gohan were then shown having to join Goku and Vegeta in pursuit of Toro, was when Beerus then went on to quickly interject by responding, and just what exactly happened out here while me and the Fusion were away, Saiyans? As I would like to know on why the last of those Dark Masters hasn't already been destroyed by now, and better yet, Beerus continues, is why exactly is it starting to get harder for me to breathe while having to go and make my way up this mountain, and why is the gravity getting heavier and heavier as we continue to get closer and closer up there, with Goku responding, well, I'm not really too sure on why things are starting to change the higher we continue to climb, but while we're up here, Goku adds, we have to hurry because we can't go and let that monster go and try to capitalize on any opportunity that he's afforded while up here, and so we'll need to try to go and hurry it up and fast because he could be luring us into some kind of a trap, and so stay on guard, you guys. Oh, the delightful irony, but at long last, Raijin says, with all three configuration cubes now finally within my possession, now comes the moment of absolute truth in finding out once and for all on what exactly lies beyond the known multiverse, and if there just so happens to exist many more worlds and realms that go far beyond this one, or if this very concept itself turns out to be true, then I am going to ensure that each and every single one of them are to go and be ruled over by my hand and my hand alone. To which, as Toro was then shown having to finally reach Raijin, was when Toro then went on to quickly shout, Master Raijin, I come to you with an urgent plea, for your presence is desperately needed, for the mortals have gained significant grounds over our legions below, and yet your first instinctive action, Raijin quickly interrupts, was to go and bring those troublesome little insects onto my front doorstep here. Why, Toro?
Boom, highly black Air Force energy right there. He said, hold on, you down there getting your ass beat, and the first thing you do is run back to me and bring the motherfucker straight here. Like I wasn't over here trying to get the goal accomplished. I mean, I got the three things right here just floating in my hand, and you want to bring all the static right here to me. Like, let me do what I'm supposed to do so then I can come kick their ass. Nah. You want me to just stop putting this shit together and figuring out the next power up so I could just decimate their ass. I mean, I'm going to decimate him because he was already out leveling them niggas at this point. Hell, they was having problems with him, but Beerus got that master UI, so leave him alone. Beerus was gonna knock out that dude and then might struggle with this one, but then, you know, let him go ahead and throw the woo wop with the woo wop. Now Beerus and Whis got a fuse type shit. Something.
With Toro responding, well, forgive me, my lord, but now that I can go and see that with all three of the configuration cubes collected, since we have already lost too many of our own while having to wage this battle against these mortals down there, I hereby come to you in honor of your lordship here, sire, Toro says, as we are in desperate need of your aid in helping us destroy these creatures, because if they continue to rise in both ranks and numbers, Toro says, for I hereby come to you in honor of your lordship here, sire, for we are in dire need of your aid here in helping us destroy these creatures, because if they continue to rise in both ranks and numbers, then they will only further go and hinder us in having to go and take the lead in this battle here against them, and so I humbly ask that you help me, Lord Raijin. But then, it was only just upon with our heroes now having to all be shown having to land on top of Raijin's God King Mountain was when Goku then went on to quickly respond, whoa, this place feels like an entirely different dimension altogether here, because, wow, man, this gravity feels intense, but it looks like we've got much bigger problems to worry about here, because look, oh, the cubes! But how did he go and manage to get the last one if you had already promised us that that little demon boy wasn't going to go and betray us, Kakarot? Because now this is all your fault for going and making matters worse for all of us than they already were before we had even landed here, Kakarot, with Toro responding, and right on time you are, for now you rodents have went and done it. But now that you are all here, it is time for us to go and set the record straight in delivering onto the promises that were already made, Toro continues, long before you worms or ever even dragons facing us here within the demon realm. For Lord Raijin and I will hereby go and show you no mercy while we force you all to go and beg for your miserable lives within the process. With Raijin responding, "Oh, are we now? Well, what a very interesting thing that you would go and say here, Toro. And especially while claiming to go and speak on my behalf for me without my approval and having to go and do so. But even now, while I can see on why you went and had brought them here, now I know on exactly what it is that I will need to go and do from this moment onwards." With Toro responding, "Yes, my master, for now we can go and extinguish the flames of the rebellion and destroy them altogether, for no longer will your authority be put into question, and because of this, I am hereby ready to go and annihilate these vermin alongside with you whenever you are ready to go and give me the orders, my lord." With Raijin responding, "Well, actually..."
That's fucked up. That's fucked up, because y'all already see the panels. But, man, this dude just did what I said. He over here waiting to follow orders. Like, get the order and we gonna go out here and slay him, though, boss man. Yeah, nah, boss man, peace the fuck off that you brought the problem to him in the first place. Like, I told you to go handle these motherfuckers, and you didn't do your job. So guess what?
Toro, since I already have you here, and since I also have everything that it was in which I had been searching for, you had actually went and given me a far better idea than the one that you had just presented, and just in case if you were already wondering as to what that was, well, you no longer have to go and wonder, because maybe this ought to be what goes and speaks for itself, demon. To which it was only shockingly enough now, with Raijin being shown having to completely impale Toro from behind and having to now hold on to his heart while Toro was shown then having to turn around, was when Toro then went on to respond.
See, this ain't that regular megular. See, he done went through the whole chest, pulled the heart out on him. Like, yes, that's the mighty lion's paw. Just grab your whole heart right out your chest. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to the demon guy Raijin, because he got that move. And yeah, I was just over here thinking about that one myself the other day. What up, though?
Master Raijin, well, why would you deliberately go and turn your back on me like this?
Turn his back on you because he put in his work.
That your role as being the esteemed leader of the Dark Masters was going to be something that I was going to allow and having it last indefinitely, Raijin questions? Because simply put, it wasn't. For your services were merely convenient, along with simply having it serve as being a means to an end and nothing more, demon. As from the very moments that you had arrogantly went and claimed leadership within my absence was the very moment where you had unknowingly sealed your fate against me, Toro. And as your pitiful pride had always disgusted me, and truthfully, Raijin continues, I have waited eagerly for this
Yeah, but you just seen that this motherfucker was actually stronger than everybody, so why would he listen to anybody else? I mean, he was making sure shit got done, and you came back, so technically he was the leader while you were gone. So without him, they wouldn't have did it to get it. Well, they could have did it, but somebody else might have made it happen in another way, because you know there's more than one way to get there. That's why the teamwork makes the dream work. But you had a team of people working to get you back, motherfucker, and I just so happened to have to be the leader. Hell, that's like fucking Professor X just going crazy and killing Cyclops. Nah, Jean Grey did that. You see what I'm saying? Shouts out to the Phoenix, because she killed her own husband. That's how that shit be, though. But, you know, that's another sub-quest and story for fucking Spider-Pig one day. We might have to sit down with Goten and ask him how he feel about that, because, you know, Goten hit the hose.
That moment to go and plunge my very hand through your treacherous little black heart of yours. But I do in fact actually want for you to know one last thing before you are destroyed here, which is simply to say that in the end you were nothing more than a disposable pawn of mine who was useful to me in every single way that I needed for him to be until the very end. And since you are now no longer of any real use to me anymore, all this simply just means is that you were always expendable. With Goku responding, man, I knew that Raijin was utterly terrible to begin with, but this is just on a whole different level of crazy because talk about wickedness. For he had just went and turned against his very own kind now, and he did it without even having to bat an eye about it either. But what do you guys think, Goku questions? Because from the looks of it, I have a really bad feeling about this right now. And what's even more alarming is that I can't seem to go and spot Whis anywhere around here, which only now makes me wonder if something happened to him while we were down there and battling against his army the entire time. With Beerus then chiming in, well, that should already be obvious enough by now if you haven't already went and noticed Goku. But more importantly than having to go and watch that monster slay his very own is how exactly did he go and manage to lay claim over that final configuration cube if that demon boy had went and promised us to go and keep it as far away from that Raijin as he possibly could, Beerus questions. Because that right there doesn't look to be far away from me if he already has all three of them. And so what are we going to go and do if he's willing to go and destroy his own kind in hopes of having to go and keep it? Oh, damn it. And so now what do we do? With Raijin then having to quickly respond, and since your services will no longer be needed, then allow for me to go and take this moment here between us to send you off in the most memorable way possible, in going and having your sacrifice be what ultimately results in the destruction of our opposition here. As I had went and had warned you once before that this was going to happen upon my initial return when I was set free, Raijin continues. And now that you are no longer needed in having to go and make yourself useful towards my very cause here, then perhaps this broken vessel that you call a body of yours can be of use to me one last time, as I want for you to go and leave an everlasting impact on those little worms by going as far as to remind them on exactly why they will never win this war against me, no matter how many of them there are who go and gather together in trying to go and do so, Raijin says. To which it was only just then within these very moments now as Raijin went as far as to unleash a gigantic energy blast that was then shown having to make its way hurtling towards our heroes was when Whis went on to appear in front of everyone by quickly shouting, "Quickly now, everyone, brace yourselves from within my barrier and fast, because we only have a few seconds left, and so just hold on and prepare for impact," Whis shouts. As I don't have the time, nor do I just so happen to have the patience in going and wasting these precious moments and delaying my destiny any longer, Raijin went on to then quickly chime back in. And so whether you are destroyed or whether you are somehow lucky enough to go and find a way to survive, none of it matters to me, especially not while I have these to look forward towards, as I do not concern myself with those who are peons that rank beneath me, Raijin continues, because they too will soon be dealt with once I go and get the answers in which I have been seeking, for I have waited eons in having to go and see this very moment through by holding these relics within my possession, Raijin continues, and with my most troublesome enemies locked away and as these little insects continue to stagger, let us now go and learn the truth behind why these were kept as far away from me as they were, Raijin continues, in going and discovering the truth on if there is something far greater that waits for me on the other side, as it was only right then and there now during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super Story of the Dark Masters, the official Murno sequel, manga chapter number 49 special, then comes to a close.
Well, actually, I'll go ahead and take it from here, as I do want to go as far as to address something very important with our dear viewers at the moment. As before I go and give you the following information, if you aren't already a member of Unreal's Patreon community, then you are truly missing out on so much without you even knowing, because not only is the next episode already on the page, but if you want to support all of the manga content that you see and gain access to tons of exclusives along the way that range from a variety of different things, then we do encourage for you all to become members of our Patreon community today, for we will link everything down within the description box below and pinned comment section as well. Now I will go as far as to say that although I wasn't expecting to watch everything play out the way that it did, especially now that Raijin has all three configuration cubes within his possession, if we are to survive, and if we are to ensure that he does not find himself in having to be successful in his approach, now that he has all three of those configuration cubes with him, we must do everything that we can to ensure that he does not use them in any sort of way. And because of this, you do not want to go and miss out out on what is about to happen coming up next. So we hope that you all enjoyed today's video. And before you leave, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up by smashing that like button on your way out, as well as also subscribing to Unreal Gaming's channel for tons of new Dragon Ball content. So with that, we thank you all so much for watching, as we'll be seeing you all again for the next one.
Hello. Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to Unreal Gaming? Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch. Roshi. Silent Cell. Me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch. Roshi, the fuck? God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell. And we're demonetized. Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video. A big mistake. Where do you think you're going? Pidgey, what a waste of talent. Not today. Back off.
Piccolo always being a dad, man. I'm just saving that boy. Where you been, boy? Where you been?
Are you okay?
Stronger than he was even before. To the point where he could hold up Mount Sumeru on just one shoulder, which basically equaled out to holding up the infinite cosmic sky. Wukong was able to reach perfection on his journey, entering into the incomplete nirvana, which is boundless reality beyond everything, beyond all concepts and limitations. It's above the God realms and the formless realms, which those two realms were already above physicality and dimensions. So we're talking about like true outer-versal stuff here. And it doesn't stop there, because at the end of his journey, Sun Wukong was brought before the Buddha again. And this time, he transcended into the complete nirvana, which made him even more powerful.
And no to train with.
But I thought Whis was helping him train.
Dad says he's too busy.
Go ask Vegeta.
He gave Dad this weird look. He didn't even talk. He just glared.
Vegeta glares at everyone, but it's weird for him to turn down training.
Shouts out to the big homie. Y'all know he did this beat for your boy.
Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the garden, by the door, in the bedroom, on the floor. Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the middle of the night, I'm gonna be there till the morning light. a place for you to stay. In the garden, by the door, in the bedroom, on the floor. Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the middle of the night, I'm gonna be there till the morning light. Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the garden, by the door.
Oh my. Dragon Ball Daima Episode 10 has shattered the misconception that the series is just a side story or filler-like spin-off. The Dragon Ball franchise has always thrived on its rich lore, blending martial arts fantasy, cosmic mythology, and divine hierarchies. But with Dragon Ball Daima, the series has evolved into something far deeper, an ocean of lore where ancient myths, forgotten realms, and untold histories rise to the surface, reshaping the narrative we thought we knew. Episode 10 showed everyone that it's not a series to be ignored or taken very lightly. It's some serious business that every Dragon Ball fan needs to pay attention to. It delivered a monumental revelation that redefined the cosmic lore of the entire Dragon Ball multiverse. For years, fans have speculated about how the universes came into existence, who created them, and how the Supreme Kais were chosen to maintain balance. Episode 10 didn't just answer these questions, it expanded the mythos in ways that could reshape the entire franchise. This episode didn't just raise the stakes, it pulled back the veil on the creation of the universes themselves, revealing the ancient forces responsible for existence.
Technically, what they did point out that and revealed, it might be a shot coming up here in this. I don't remember if this is the video that useless. 'Cause the only thing he used his power of creation for was to change Goku's ears. Shin, you're the god of creation in the universe. You're the one who actually creates planets, you stupid motherfucker. It's like, hold on. So, because that's one of the things that GT was supposed to teach you, that you're not supposed to use the Dragon Balls to do what the hell they've been doing. They actually have contact with the fucking god of creation, who is Shin. A planet got blew up. Shit. Oh yeah, that's what you do, right? You create planets and life forms and all types of stuff. So we're gonna need you to actually do your job, bruh. That's one thing that most fans actually hate Shin for, because he does not do his job good at all. Sure enough, when Majin Buu was a problem, he was like, well, let me go get some help. And when got the strongest people in the universe to help him, that was Shin being smart, because he was like, well, technically he could have created his own help, because that's how good his powers are. But you know, I mean, oh, there's this super evil that's stronger than me. Well, let me create something else that's strong to help take out that motherfucker type shit. But, you know, Shin's kind of low IQ. Hell, it's understandable. You see how Rensu and them, and then all the other demons are. Hell, they like, shit, we out here trying to get it. And it's Shin kind of on that bullshit. They created problems.
The formation of the Supreme Kai hierarchy, and the ultimate truth about the gods of creation and destruction. Episode 10 of Daima exemplifies this perfectly. The setting of the second demon world, a vast, mystical ocean, serves as a metaphor for Daima itself. Limitless, mysterious, and brimming with hidden depths. Just as Goku and his companions find themselves navigating an endless sea filled with dangers and secrets, so too are viewers plunged into a narrative where every wave reveals new facets of Dragon Ball's expansive universe. Before we dive into this great episode, are you ready to dive even deeper into the epic lore of Dragon Ball Daima and beyond? Join Hype's World, the ultimate Dragon Ball Discord server where passionate fans gather to discuss the latest episodes, theories, and everything Dragon Ball related. Join through the link in the description and be part of the most dynamic Dragon Ball community out there. The episode starts with Majin Buu challenging Tamagami number 1 for a fight to claim the one-star Dragon Ball. Arinzu acts as a spectator in this fight as she wants to see just how strong the new Majin she created, Majin Buu, is. Tamagami number 1 asks Majin Buu if he's sure to take him on, but Ku pretty confidently says yes. As the fight starts, Majin Ku takes a step back and starts doing some weird fighting poses. Sure, it does remind me of the Ginyu Force, but it looks even more lame. Majin Ku strikes Tamagami number 1, but none of his attacks seem to do any damage to the Dragon Ball Guardian. He swiftly dodges and blocks every single attack of Majin Ku. Majin Ku decides to hit him with a ki blast, but number 1 cancels the blast by slicing it down to 0. As the smoke clears, Tamagami number 1 stands firm as if Ku isn't even worth a challenge. This clash subtly hints at a fascinating power hierarchy among the Tamagami Guardians. Given that Tamagami number 1 seems almost invincible, it raises questions about the numerical system governing their rankings. Could it be that their numerical order directly correlates to their strength and status? We've already seen Tamagami number 3, who seemed relatively weaker in comparison. If this theory holds true, then Tamagami number 1 might truly be the strongest among them, representing an insurmountable obstacle on the path to collecting the Dragon Balls. Meanwhile, Goku and the others reach Warp's location to go out of the third demon world. At the transit point, Shin once again uses his magic to make Goku's ears look pointy to make him look like a resident of the demon realm. This also kind of confirms that there's no way Warp would let you go if you're not a demon. This means Vegeta and Bulma, when they enter the demon realm, should also have their ears turned pointy. That's probably in some deleted drafts which might never see the light of day. Glorio tells Warp the pin number, but Warp doubts them operating the Gendarmery's plane. Pansy assures them that they are a part of the Gendarmery, so Warp lets them go. Glorio was about to enter the second Demon World entry gate, but Shin stops him to go directly to the first Demon World instead, since they have the Gendarmery's plane who have the authority to travel to the first world. But that would stop Goku from collecting the Dragon Balls, as he needs the Dragon Balls to return to his normal state. Glorio supports Goku's decision. We clearly know why Glorio's on Goku's side here, since he has a secret agenda to fulfill with the Dragon Balls. Maybe it's all to fulfill Orinzu's dream of becoming the Supreme Demon King, or Glorio's own wish. Whatever the end goal may be, Glorio wants to ensure that Goku collects all 3 Dragon Balls. However, Goku is worried about Dende. Shin assures him Goma mustn't be planning to kill him. He's probably going to use him for something else, as Namekians are quite valuable. Back in the third Demon World, we see Vegeta's gang, who finally got back their plane, heading to the second Demon World following Goku. Bulma adores her skin, while Piccolo tells Vegeta that even if they take back Dende to Earth, the Dragon Balls would still be unusable for a while, as Dende is a baby now. Even Vegeta agrees that using Dragon Balls of the Demon Realm to restore them to their adulthood might just be the best idea. Sure, of course it would be the best idea. Times like this is why I really wish there existed a planet other than Earth that would have these same 7 wish-granting orbs as Earth. Or maybe 2 small wish-granting orbs in another corner of the galaxy. But oh well. It seems like Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, and even the writers forgot about the existence of planet Namek. Hypus compliments Bulma's skin by calling it smooth. Bulma agrees and says it's better this way if she doesn't try to become an adult again. Hypus asking out Bulma in this scene has got to be the most random thing I've ever...
I mean, they've already been to planet Namek, and if, you know, they had to go to the Demon World anyways, because apparently Dende was kidnapped, so what do you mean, why would they not go to the Demon World? And they was like, well, what about some Dragon Balls to get our bodies fixed? Well, there's Dragon Balls down there, so shit, we'll just go get them. Ain't nothing different for our crew, you see what I'm saying? Go get the Dragon Balls, that's what the hell they do. Shouts out to Scully. Good to see, how you doing? Throw him a jacket real quick, because I know him. Yeah, that's the Broska extraordinary. You dig? Like I was saying, yeah, I mean, they know there's Namekian Dragon Balls, god damn it. You got Piccolo riding along with him, and then he gonna act like he can't even speak Namekian type shit. That's how much Piccolo cared. He was like, oh, well, shit, I done forgot how to even speak Namekian. But hell, we'll be all right. When the time comes, I might remember, because, you know, that's a nerf or a buff whenever he needed, right?
Scene. This obviously infuriates Vegeta as he bursts out at Hypus, informing him to stop this nonsense as they're already married. But Hypus doesn't really mind if Bulma's already married. This again pisses Vegeta off. Hypus also tells Bulma that she married a guy with a funny hairstyle when he himself has just one hair as his hairstyle. Bulma tells Vegeta to leave her out while making the wish to be an adult again, but Vegeta wants her to become an adult too. Hypus comments that Vegeta likes Bulma's big boobies, which is why he wants her to turn back into an adult. Even Piccolo thinks he's right. This This moment perfectly captures the comedic essence of Dragon Ball, where even the most serious and battle-hardened warriors can't escape a moment of levity. The entire scene is a masterclass in comedic timing, showing off the wonderful growing dynamics between the characters. Vegeta's protective, almost over-the-top reaction to Hybis's flirtation with Bulma adds a layer of humor to his usual brooding, no-nonsense attitude. His frustration with Hybis's blatant disregard for his marriage is something fans of the series can immediately connect to. Vegeta's jealousy, after all, has always been a major aspect of his character, albeit usually in a more serious context. This unexpected outburst, however, serves as a hilarious, humanizing moment for Vegeta that will likely become a fan-favorite scene. Meanwhile, in the first Demon World, Majin Ku charges at Tamagami number 1 with a barrage of ki blasts, but he shields himself against them. Ku then launches a tornado attack at number 1, but he dodges it quite efficiently and catches Majin Ku off guard, only to throw him away. It's very evident that Tamagami number 1 is taking this fight too casually. He doesn't feel the need to use his strength on someone like Majin Ku, who doesn't deserve it. Majin Ku again does some funny poses while landing a strike on Tamagami number 1. It seems like this Majin is nothing but a gag character placed in the story for nothing serious but to carry the fun element. Tamagami number 1 is unfazed while Majin Ku gives it his all to move him the slightest. On the other side, Goku and the gang finally arrive in the second Demon World. I can't tell you how good it feels to see green skies after seeing the pink sky over the last few weeks. We're finally out of the third Demon World. The air in the second world isn't heavy, so they can fly faster without getting tired. Glorio also mentions that Tamagami number 2 is nearby, so they should be there in no time. This raises a question. Just how much does Glorio know about the Demon World? Even though he was born in the third Demon World and later got employed by someone in the first world, to have the location of the Tamagami in the second world, the knowledge of air pressure in the other worlds, it all just goes to show that Glorio or Rinzu have been planning this out quite well. He even knows about the Krakens that existed while Shin and the other Glins still inhabited the second world. Just then, the Gendarmerie army attacks them from behind. Glorio tries to counterattack, but he's not very used to the plane and its weapons, so he misses the targets. The Gendarmerie manages to damage Goku's plane, forcing it to barely be able to fly. Goku then gets out of the plane and defeats every one of the enemy planes alone. We also get a little homage to DBS Broly and DBS manga Moro arc as we see Goku covering the windshield of the plane. This entire sequence of Goku destroying the Gendarmerie with his power pole is so well done. The storyboard, the setting, the animation, everything's just top-notch in this scene. Goma watches all this unfold on his monitor screens. He orders Degasu to gather all Gendarmerie to the first Demon World before it's too late. I guess we aren't too far away from the climax of the series now. The Kraken attacks Goku's ship as they were flying too low. It attempts to eat them alive along with the plane. It grabs the plane with its tentacles in an attempt to crush it well before putting it inside its mouth. Everyone gets out of the plane saving their lives while leaving behind all their belongings. However, Pansy then remembers the Dragon Ball, so she goes back into the plane to get it back. Goma is surprised to see them make it out alive of the Kraken. Meanwhile, Majin Ku admits his defeat against Tamagami number 1. Rinzu decides to fire him, but he tries to convince her that he's pretty strong too. Back in the second world, Goku's gang waits for Vegeta and the others to arrive while they explore Namekian's original planet. Goku, as usual, feels hungry, so he eats one of the revive bugs he bought that restores his strength to maximum and fills his stomach. Goku senses Vegeta's presence nearby, so he flies off to receive them and saves them from the Kraken's attack. Upon landing on planet Namek, Piccolo tells Goku that he was born after his father escaped the Demon Realm, but he feels a strong sense of familiarity in that environment. Bulma learns Shin's true name is Naher and asks him about the story of how he left the Demon Realm. He tells her that it's a very long story, but in short, a Super Majin Rimus created the universes and assigned a few Glins to look over those universes as Supreme Kais. He goes into detail while explaining the history of Namekians, the creation of the universe, and what led to the Demon Realm being what it is now. But we'll discuss it in another video in detail as it's too much for this one. The gang then flies off to fight Tamagami number 2, and the episode ends with Neva the Namek walking towards Goku and the others. The next episode, titled Legend, shows Vegeta finally in action against Tamagami number 2. Guess it'll be pretty exciting to watch, huh? Gotta say, episode 10 has taken the series to a whole new level, pushing the boundaries of what we thought we knew about the franchise. This episode not only delivered action-packed sequences and character dynamics, but also enriched the cosmic lore of Dragon Ball in ways that left fans reeling. The deeper exploration of the Demon Realm, the mysterious Tamagami Guardian, and the revelation about the creation of the universes has elevated the story into something much more profound. From Goku's relentless pursuit of the Dragon Balls to Vegeta's hilarious outburst over Hybis flirting with Bulma, the episode strikes a perfect balance between humor, lore, and intense action. The connections to previous Dragon Ball arcs like the Namekians' origins and the creation of the universes add layers of complexity that will undoubtedly have a lasting impact on the future of the series. And with the arrival of new characters and the looming showdown with Tamagami number 2, it's clear that Dragon Ball Daima is setting up for an unforgettable climax. box. What did you think of episode 10? Did the lore expansion surprise you? Are you excited to see how the story unfolds? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth reviews and updates. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week.
Heard you was on. You know, I stopped by before I hit that live myself. I was like, oh, bro, on. Yeah, drop that thumbs up real quick. Hell, it ain't gonna take but a second. Yeah, and I'll be in and out. Hell, he'll do his thing, and then I gotta start doing mine, right? Hey, shout out to bro though.
Frieza is exiting his spaceship. His mission? Destroy planet Vegeta and all the Saiyans that inhabit it. The Super Saiyan, and even to a lesser extent, the Super Saiyan God, scared Frieza enough that he wanted rid of the Saiyan race. Beerus's blessing was just the icing on the cake. So, Frieza looks down.
I knew it was at the end of our videos. I'm like, what is this? Because they trying to keep my Super Saturday rolling. I say that ain't recording. Oops. Well, Rumble might not have a video today. I don't know what happened to that. I know I hit record. Yeah, I'll re-record it for them later because they'll like it. But that's another time, another place. Hell. Anyways.